After downloading the macOS Sequoia and Xcode 16 betas, the most important thing I needed to do was customize my simulator. So I spent some time getting the look just right, something that would really make me productive. And this tint is so harsh on my eyes that it's definitely going to help keep me focused on my code. Next, I really needed help creating a cell view for displaying tasks. And this was the perfect time to try out the new code completion. It's not the full-blown Swift Assist that is coming later this year, but I was hoping it could at least speed up my coding. So I had Xcode to help me create a small cell view for displaying a task. This first suggestion is fantastic. Never thought about displaying the same view UID twice instead of the name of the task. But I prompted again and get something a bit more reasonable. And now I just need to use this new view in some of my lists. Pretty easy to replace, and Xcode even helps me out a little bit here. So this cell view looks kind of plain, so I prompt Xcode to spruce it up a bit with a card, and I actually get a pretty good suggestion. We can go ahead and build and run this to see that we have nice cards around each task. Cool. So the current task isn't displayed in one of these cells, so I try to get some help here, but Xcode is feeling kind of bashful, and these suggestions are pretty lame, to be honest. So I tried to get Xcode to loosen up a bit here by switching gears to tackling the no task label. I want something really interesting looking, and I make the reasonable request to make this text outrageous, and all I get is some large red text. So then I just ask it to make this text even scarier, and it increases the size, which I guess is scary, but I need it even scarier. So bold, italicized, that's pretty scary, but still not scary enough. We get the underline, which is nice, but I need a bit more. So here's where Xcode gets a little bit creative. I'm kind of no longer prompting it. I'm just accepting whatever it has to give me. So we go ahead and run this and take a look, and it looks a bit busted, just a yellow pill. So I'm going to go back and change a few things. I think we have some conflicting view things here, and the blur is a bit much, so let's just get rid of that. And the rotation effect is cool, but let's simmer that down a little bit. Okay, now I can actually read this, so this is looking pretty good. So next I just scale it up, and that looks pretty good. It's too far to the left, so let's just scoot it over to the right. And we get the perfect suggestion for that. And I think this looks perfect. So we can go ahead and add some tasks. And after completing them, we get to see our lovely no tasks view. And once again, let's add these changes and commit them. No need to review it. Let's just push directly to main. Now that Xcode is feeling more creative, we go back to where we are displaying the current task. And at this point, I'm just talking to Xcode like I would any designer. And I ask for a gradient here. I don't quite get what I'm looking for. I just get a solid color. So I ask again, but this time a bit more specifically. And I get an ugly gradient just like how I wanted, but it's covering my text. And in order to fix this, I just prompt again. I get the same gradient, but this time it's a background. So I just delete some of the other code, no problem. So this is looking really good. We just have some padding issues. So I just politely ask for some padding, but we're in the wrong spot. So let's go back up a little bit and ask for some padding over here. And I get it, no problem. I need a little vertical padding as well. And Xcode happily supplies that. So this is looking pretty good. The current task definitely stands out, and it's completely designed by Xcode, which is really nice. And of course, after you're done with your tasks, you see the beautiful Seinfeld looking whatever that is. And let's just push that directly to main as well.